Could Diddy have been tipped off by the raid and tried to flee the country? Or did he get some word of advice from his industry associate Russell Simmons on how to avoid prosecution? As you may well know, back in 2017, Simmons also fled the US and settled in Bali, Indonesia, a country that also abides by this same extradition treaty, in order to avoid his own accusations and evade legal ramifications if he stayed in America. Now, when it comes to the legalities surrounding the statute of limitations to prosecute someone, former Homeland Security investigator Myron Gaines of the Fed Reacts YouTube page broke down some key points of the investigation during his conversation with DJ Academics.
How does that change the scenario? Because, like, again, if someone is like, yo, hey, listen, this happened, yo, there might be a couple of VHS tapes this motherfucker kept of like him having these little orgies. It's like, what is the time span of this criminal accusation? Because really it spanned from the 90s to now. How would like HSI or any like government body treat that?
So that's a really good question. Anyway, most federal crimes have a 5-year statute of limitations, right? So since most crimes have that statute of limitations, obviously if there were allegations from the 90s, they can't do anything. However, right, if the feds could prove that this has been a continuing conspiracy, that he's been doing this shit since then and he's still doing it up to 5 years ago, all that shit comes in. All that stuff comes in.
In Diddy's case, regardless of a 5-year statute of limitations of most federal cases, if the feds can prove that these allegations have been a continuing conspiracy all the way up until recently, or even up to 5 years ago, then all other allegations as far back as the 90s can also come into play. They can also charge the case as a RICO by identifying other individuals involved in his organization that were helping perform these acts. This method is another means to get around a statute of limitations. When it comes to Diddy's finances, feds usually don't intentionally try to cripple a suspect financially unless they can prove that he acquired his funds illegally, such as through drug trafficking or other illicit sources. In Diddy's case, most of his finances are considered clean money due to his wealth being obtained through his music businesses, alcohol deals, and clothing line. Then he most likely won't encounter this problem. Now, if prosecutors can prove that Diddy did in fact acquire his money through money laundering or other illegal transactions, or SUA, specified unlawful activity, then they can in fact use that as proof to freeze Diddy's accounts. Due to Cassie's civil lawsuit and now possibly a human trafficking case against Diddy, it's quite possible that the feds may have already interviewed her due to the fact that she has been a key player in Diddy's life. After being with Diddy for so many years, Cassie may still have intimate knowledge of where his properties are, knowledge of his associates, some addresses, and even phone numbers. The acts that she may have to grind with Diddy may catapult these investigations. Even though currently she may not be able to pinpoint all the actual details of some of Diddy's properties today, she may very well be able to lead investigators to other people who are still associates of Diddy to be interviewed. These sources can then be able to give them even more information to further their investigations that may possibly lead to the probable cause necessary for an indictment. Due to the extensive search of Diddy's multiple properties that are located in multiple jurisdictions, allegedly there may have been multiple informants who were either paid, willing to talk freely, or a co-defendant who was not paid but trying to work out a deal to lessen one of their own charges. Not only that, Diddy does have multiple enemies and many competitors who may also be sources of information willing to tell it all. Hey, don't be surprised if J-Lo may also be subpoenaed for her involvement in that infamous club shooting back in 1999. And as far as other people who may have been involved in any of the allegations in this case,
anybody that's associated with Diddy or was at these parties and witnessed any type of criminal activity needs to secure a lawyer right now.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody that was at these parties that saw any of this bullshit going on that was alleged, I would hire a lawyer right now. and at least do a consult and because it's gonna
Why?
come out, because once they start interviewing people and they get this, because this search warrant is gonna lead them to identifying other people are gonna get talked to, people are gonna flip, they're gonna put pressure on other individuals. Like, yeah, anyone that was involved in this stuff needs to secure a lawyer right now.
In order to have executed such a high-profile search, investigators had to have done extensive research and investigations for years or even several months prior to them coming after P. Diddy, and they're 100% sure that they will find something. All of this may be leading to the feds possibly indicting Diddy, and the feds usually won't indict someone unless they're thoroughly sure that they're gonna win the case. Once inside the home, if investigators come across anything vaguely connected to any other crimes, this can also come into play as additional charges against Diddy. As of right now, Diddy's whereabouts are unclear, whether he is already in custody or out of the country. Nothing yet has been confirmed. Well, that's it for now. I'm Annie.